Hey all you cool cats and kittens. What's up you guys? It's your boy JB and I'm here today with a review for Love and Hip Hop Atlanta. This is season 9, I believe this is episode 5 you guys. It's titled Slippery Slope. So you guys, without further ado, let's go ahead and just hop right into this episode review. Yeah, this was an interesting episode, I'll say the least. Yeah, so let's talk about it. Alright, you guys, so we're gonna open up this video talking about Jock and Alexis Sky. So, Jock went down to his salon where Sharonda is, and Sharonda's like, wait a minute, Jock, what you doing here? You ain't been here you ain't done nothing here in over a year. Well, if he still owns the shop, I mean, he can come in whenever he wants to. I don't understand what Sharonda's attitude is for, but, we still never got an explanation about Sharonda's attitude. I mean, Carly went back last season and told information all wrong that Jock allegedly slept with Sharonda. I can see it, because that would explain why she asked what she asked, but whatever. So Jock is meeting up with Alexis at the shop. So, they first are talking about this whole situation that they last saw each other was with Akbar. And then, Jock tells Alexis that he had light brown skin Keisha down to the studio and they had Akbar on Skype. I'm glad Alexis told Jock, like, yo, Jock, that was messy as hell. Exactly, it was messy. I don't know why Jock didn't even see. Jock saw it. Jock just don't want to open up and be like, hey, yeah, that was messy. But the reason why Jock has Alexis at the salon is because he saw her on Instagram. He saw a post, and she was talking about being sex trafficked, and that's a big subject to talk about. But Alexis is not quite sure if she wants to do it because she feels like people are going to judge her and think she's doing this all for clout and things like that. Now, I don't necessarily believe that Alexis is doing this for clout, but I just do have a big question about it. And the main question that I have is with the platform that Alexis has had. She's been on Love and Hip Hop now. She's been on Hollywood, New York, and now Atlanta. Actually, she's been on Atlanta, Hollywood, New York, and back to Atlanta. But she was on Atlanta as a guest for, I think, Jessica Dime or Tommy, one of those two. But my thing with Alexis is, I'm not saying that it didn't happen, and I'm not saying that she's doing this for clout. My question comes into, you could have talked about, like, especially out there in LA, you could have talked about this, situation instead of you going back and forth with Masika all season that you were on Love and Hip Hop Hollywood. You could have, brought some light to this whole sex trafficking and just told your story. So I'm not saying that it's not true. I'm just questioning why she waited to now to say it, and that's my only thing. And I'm not, saying I'm not trying to victim shame her or anything. It's just a little interesting that we talking about it now. Like she could have talked about it in New York when she was talking about her situation with her daughter. I don't know. I'm not, and again, I'm not saying that it didn't happen. I'm just kind of questioning if. I just have a little bit of questions. I feel like she could have came. That would have shown her in a different light on Love and Hip Hop. That's really where I'm at. If she had came on instead of beefing with Masika and talked about something like this would have made her look a little bit different. But she's talking about it now. So then we do see, and Job was talking about having a panel. So we saw the panel. So they were talking about sex trafficking and the fact that most people think that sex trafficking is, you watch out for people in white vans coming to snatch you up, when that's not the case. Sex trafficking can happen, virtually anywhere. Anyone can be a sex trafficker. You guys probably know people who are being trafficked through sex. And Akbar V was in the audience. I don't know what she had on, but she said it best. Sex trafficking is pimping. They take these young girls and they pimp them out, basically. So, the one woman that gave her story about how many, I think she said she had 15 abortions. And, I was just like, wow. And then she got trafficked by a mega pastor's daughter. I'm like, ooh, a mega pastor. We know some of them in Atlanta. I'm not going to call any names, but I'm going to move on. Now here's the one thing that kind of threw me off in this scene with Jock, because he was talking about his daughters, but then he made mention to, it's, it can be worse now with people being inside due to COVID-19. I'm like, wait a minute, was that supposed to be him in his interview or what? Like, I don't understand it. But um, Alexis gave her story. I kind of tuned out with Alexis' story, and it had nothing to do with her. It's just I was tired when I was watching this. Also, there was another woman there who gave her story. Hers was a little bit different. She was someone who trafficked people, and she said that she got people from the church. I'm like, wow, the church? Mm. Like, that's supposed to be a place where you go and feel safe and feel the spirit of the Lord, but you got to worry about people kidnapping your daughters. Scary thought. But let's move on, you guys, because that's getting a little deep for me right about now. All right, you guys. So I'm gonna call it a bit of bullshit when it comes to these home interviews. They're horrible as fuck. First and foremost, the audio is atrocious. The visuals are horrible. Like if you guys look at Shooter's interview, it was so grainy. I'm like, what is he filming on? The Android? No shade to anybody who has an Android, but I'm just like, what is he filming on? And then Sierra, with hers, it's an echo, and then her lighting. Now I have a ring light, and I'm pretty sure she has one too. If you notice, sometimes when you move with the ring light, you can see the background just a little bit. That's why I'm buying me some softbox lights pretty soon because I'm so over that. And also I don't have enough room for softbox lights. So I'm waiting until I move out of this apartment. But that, and then also the next thing is if they're not filming due to the virus, that's cool. But I just have a big question about that because they stay in their same outfits the whole season. Almost the only time they really change outfits is when they get to the second half of the season. We're not at the second half of the season yet. They usually, when they do their green screens, they stay in that outfit for the duration of the first half, and then the second half they switch. And even if you look at this episode, they still have on the same outfits that they had on in last week's episode. So that means that they filmed all that stuff like last they so the at home stuff. They they filmed all this shit last week. I just have a question about that whole situation with this at home. I know because the season has been filmed, so I know that when it comes to interviews, those are post season. But the season had been. I think the season actually is not. The season hasn't wrapped up yet because they were still filming. I do know that they were still filming. That part I do know that they were still very much so filming the show. But when did they start filming the green screens? Was that maybe like when the fuck did they start filming them green screens? I just have a question about that. But we're gonna move on and go into this scene with Sierra. So we see Sierra, she and Mason and her I think her daughter's name is Paris. They go out to dinner with Shooter, and it's his birthday. Happy birthday, old man. So Sierra's talking about how little Paris is getting a little bit disrespectful, and Shooter asks her what's going on. She says, well, she's skipping school, and so Paris is just saying that there's a lot of things going on at school that she doesn't. It's just a lot of stuff going on at school, and Shooter tells her, okay, well, with all the stuff that's going on at school, stay away from that stuff. Focus on what you're going to school for. You're going to school to get an education. My mom used to always tell me that all the time. I wonder if that's just a southern thing, because my mom used to tell me that all the time too. When I would say I don't want to go to school, because and I didn't get picked on or teased or nothing like that. It was just sometimes I just didn't feel like going to school. I'm like I don't want to deal with this shit. It's just like sometimes I just didn't want to go to school because and it would sometimes it would be my friends, they get into some stuff, and I'm like, yeah, I'm not trying to get involved with that shit today. And she's like, you're not going to school because of them. You're going to school to get an education. So basically, what he was saying. Again, I just really wonder if that's like a southern thing. I don't know. Now, let's talk about this whole situation with her daughter, which just all showed up in the blogs a few weeks ago. Actually, a few months, maybe about a month or two ago, I think. Was it like December or January? It was. It's very recent when a situation happened where the mother of a child that Sierra's daughter, I guess, was having some issues with, went up to the school and fought Paris. Now Sierra is better than me. I'll put it that way. Sierra's a lot better than I am because if a grown ass person, man or woman, put their hands on my kid, I'm going up to that school and we gonna have a problem, a big ass problem that the principal ain't gonna be able to solve, the cops ain't gonna be able to solve. I'm gonna be able to solve it, or somebody in my family's gonna be able to solve it. Like now, if it's a woman, I'm not gonna fight a woman. I'm gonna have one of my my cousins go with me. I'm like, you coming with me, cause somebody finna explain some shit to me and you, especially the mama. She gonna have to see you, cause she ain't gonna see me. Now, if it's a dad that fought my son, he gonna have to see me, cause I'm like, wait a minute, why would you put your hands on my child? I don't give a fuck what my child was doing. I don't care if my child was picking at your child. I don't care. I don't. Period. Point blank. There was a lesson that my mom always taught me growing up. If somebody's picking at you, hit their ass. If somebody, well, not picking at you. If somebody hits you, you hit their ass back. And when you hit them back, you better hit their ass back super duper hard to knock their ass out. That's how I feel. So, I'd be like, if my child was messing with your child don't know how to diffuse the situation. Like, if somebody's picking on you, you don't know how to fight back. Are you that coward? I don't want to say. I don't mean to say it this way, but is your child that scared? I'm not gonna say coward. Is your child that scary that they gonna let somebody pick at them? They shouldn't. You should teach your child don't let anybody bully you, make fun of you, poke at you, nothing like that. And a lot of times I tell when kids bully and poke at each other and bully and tease other kids, then nine times out of ten they're jealous of what that person has. So I'm not. So that's where I'm at. But for the mother to go up there to fight that child, yeah, Sierra was better than me. That woman would have got her ass beat. Period. Point blank. And then Sierra took the daughter over there to shoot her because we found out that the woman lives in her building. Oh no! So you know where she lives. So it would have been on site. I would have been waiting for her when she got home. Like knock knock. Actually, it wouldn't have been no knock knock. I went right outside her door. What's up? Actually, wouldn't have been no what's up. I would have been outside her door. When I saw her walk up, pop would have popped her right in the jaw, and we would have been fighting right on that floor. Cause you are not gonna put your hands on my kid. Like, not gonna happen. Now, if my kid was trying to jump your kid, if my kid and some of her friends were trying to jump your child, that still doesn't give you right to jump in. Doesn't. It doesn't. It does not. It does not. There is nothing that could give the woman reason to fight a 14-year-old child. There's no reason. Let's move on, you guys, because that woman would be picking up her teeth today, even in jail. Let's move on. All right, Mona. Now I know this scene was nothing but a bunch of product placement, because we saw Rashida. Rashida was getting ready for a date with Kirk, and I saw on her vanity. I'm like, wait a minute, cover girl. I'm like, wait a minute, Mona. Y'all not blurring out cover girl. Y'all not gonna blur it out. Y'all can afford cover girl. Y'all can afford that, okay? Because you have to pay them if their product. Because if you guys watch a lot of reality TV or even scripted shows, like there's scripted shows where they won't put a product in their show. They'll have the kind of like the packaging of it, but they'll change the name of it so that they don't have to pay for that because that's advertising. I'm like, wow, Mona got that kind of advertising money, which I'm not knocking her. I'm like, hey, you got the money to pay CoverGirl because that's a big contract. That is a contract. But, Kirk and Rashida go out on their date. So here's my other question. So I'm like, are we just completely looking over Kenan and Jasmine? Are we just not talking about them at all anymore? Because, Rashida and Kirk are talking about the family and the business. And I'm like, so is Kenan a part of that family legacy as well? I'm just questioning, is he a part of it? So, Rashida's telling Kirk how she wants to take the girls to on a ski trip. I'm like, cool, that sounds fun. I've never done a ski trip. Don't think I ever want to do a ski trip because I don't really like it I like it cold. but I don't like it that cold. So yeah, they talk about leaving a legacy behind, and so you guys, I was right. They were doing product placement because at the commercial break we saw CoverGirl. I'm like, okay, so CoverGirl is sponsoring this episode. Cool. Shout out to Mona. Get your money, girl. Get your money. Get your money. So then we see Rashida. So Rashida met up with the girls at the ski shop. And Rashida's telling them all about they're going skiing. And she tells them who all is going. So at this shop, it was her, it was Sierra, it was Mimi and Bambi, I believe. So she's like, well, Carly and Spice are coming. And Sierra's like, oh, hell. But she's like, you know what? It's all good. I ain't tripping with Carly. But did I tell y'all what Carly said to me the last time we had a conversation? So Carly told me that her friend Karma is a bitch and she gonna get me. Did Carly really say that? Yes, Carly said that. Why did Sierra say bond? That's something that came in my head. Because she did talking about bond with your family, and one because they did a commercial 2 weeks ago, I think, and I didn't mention it about the whole stay at home thing. And she said, "This is a time for y'all to bond with y'all family." Bun is something you put on your head, like a bun, or you make some like honey buns. That's a bun, not a bond, but whatever. And Bambi's telling about the situation that happened with Mama D and Cece, how Mama D made the obituaries, which was fucked up. So then we do see Bambi, and she's packing for the trip. And she's saying she needs to get away for a little bit because of all the shit that's going on, and she's not feeling that well as also. And then she's talking to Scrap about she ate a piece of chicken. So do you think black people can be allergic to chicken? Hell no, we're not allergic to chicken, Bambi. No black. Well, we could be, but I don't think. I think as black people, we don't give a fuck if we would be allergic to chicken because we are gonna eat that chicken. We have it for funerals, weddings, any family gatherings, whatever you have. Black people are gonna have chicken at the function. I don't give a fuck what it is. We are gonna have chicken. I always wonder why. I'm like, why do we always have chicken? But we love chicken. Like for every funeral that my family has had, every funeral, every holiday, Thanksgiving, Christmas, birthday, what else? Birthday, New Year's, any holiday, any occasion, black people are gonna have chicken. Now, my family in particular, we do church's chicken. I don't know why. I don't know why. Actually, I do know why we do church's chicken. I do know why we do church's chicken because it's right down the street from my grand. It's literally walking distance from my grandmother's house. So yes, that is why my family do church's chicken. I don't personally like church's chicken. I know people might be like, "What? You don't like church's chicken?" No, I don't. It's not my favorite place. It's not my favorite. I will tell you guys one of my. I will say, as far as chicken goes, if you guys don't know what Williams Chicken is, I love Williams Chicken. I like Chicken Express. I love Popeyes. Um, what else? So we have a place here in Texas called Golden Chick. I don't know, and everyone here in Texas love Golden Chick. I am one of those people who, because I'm like, okay, I get it. It's a craze, and I went to Golden Chick once, and I got the chicken. I'm like, what the fuck was that? It didn't have any taste to me. I'm like, yeah, that's a no for me. So I'm going to pass. But people here in Texas buy Golden Chick like it ain't shit. Don't know why. I don't know why. What is another place that people? What's another chicken place I'm trying to think of? I think that's it. I think that's it. But yeah, I mean, I love chicken, but I just don't like greasy chicken. And that is what Church's Chicken is in my hometown. Greasy as fuck. And then the people, I mean, so my grandmother's house is in the hood. It's in the hood. It's in a drug neighborhood. And so the people that work at the churches by my grandmother's house, they're really ghetto. And I ain't got nothing against it because I grew up in the area, so I'm ghetto as well. But when you go to the drive-thru, how can I help you? It's like you're going to McDonald's. How can I help you? Excuse me? And I did that one day. And my mom wanted me to get her some chicken. So I'm just going off on a tangent right now because the episode, it was okay, but I'm just going off on a little bit tangent. Like my mom, she wanted chicken. She preferred that chicken. Because I mean, black people cook chicken the best. And I'll give them that. They do a good job with the chicken. But, the girl said, how can I help you? Oh, well, it's going to be a few minutes on the chicken. Because my mom wanted a, two piece white. She's like, well, it's going to be a few minutes on the white. Is that okay? No, because your attitude is horrible, first and foremost. So I call my mom and say, it's going to be a few minutes on the chicken. Do you really want it? She's like, yeah. I'm like, you know what? I'm going to go somewhere else and get your chicken. She's like, no, do not do that. I said, yes, mom. I said, yes, mom. I'm going somewhere else because I don't like the service here. She's like, oh, God, Jerome. That's my middle name, by the way, you guys. She's like, oh, God, Jerome. That's what my family calls me. She's like, oh, God. She's like, I don't like anybody else's chicken but theirs. I'm like, well, I'll go to the one around, it's another one that's close, and you like their chicken, and I'll go there. They have better service, too. They don't have a drive-thru, but they have much better service. She's like, okay. So that's my story, and I'm just going to move on, you guys. So Kirk and Rashida, let's talk about those two right quick. So Kirk and Rashida, now they're talking about Kirk Jr. Now these are Rashida's words, not my words. He was arrested and locked up. That's the same damn difference. If you get arrested, you're gonna get well. If they arrest you, I mean they can let you go, but if 9 times out of 10, if they arrest you, they're gonna take you into lockup. So that's the same difference. Now she says that now they think they don't know what's what with Kirk Jr. They feel like this might be a setup, and I'm like, okay, explain. So she explains it. The fact that Kirk Jr. was driving with a girl that works at the bistro, and the cops pulled them over for an improper lane change. I'm like, okay. He had a small ounce of weed. He had a small amount of weed in the car with him. I'm like, okay. We know that they arrest black people. They arrest us for possession of weed. Okay, and then they said it looked like intent to distribute. I'm like, okay. Then she says that they found a gun in the car. I'm like, well, hell, there's your problem right there, the gun. And then they want to talk about they do this to the to our black boys. Um, yes, they do. The trumped up drug charges, absolutely, absolutely. I'm in agreement with that. But if he had a gun in the car, which I mean they do that, they have. I mean I'm not gonna sit here and say the cops don't do that. That they don't plant evidence on black people. I'm not gonna sit here and say that. But they never said for sure. It's kind of dicey with that situation with Kirk and Rashida. I get that they do, plant evidence. I'm not saying that it's not plausible or possible, but it's just kind of random if they pulled him over for an illegal, improper lane change, and then they found weed, and then they found a gun. Now, first of all, and when they said a sawed-off shotgun, I'm like, why would you have a sawed-off shotgun in the car? And even if you had it in the car, wouldn't you cover it up or at least have it in the trunk? I don't know where it was, but it just sounds a little odd to me. It sounds odd to me on both sides, on the side of what they're trying to say and on the cop side. It's kind of interesting to say the least. So I don't really know what to believe at this point, but I don't want them to use that narrative that the cops come after, you know, black people. I don't want that narrative out there, right? And we don't know what the situation is because it is possible. It is possible that he had a gun in the car, and it's also possible that the cops could have planted a gun on him. So let's hold off on that stuff right now until we know more details because at this point, Rashida and Kirk don't know anything about it. So I feel like we're hastily judging at this point. That might not be an accurate assumption, but that's what I feel right now. Let's move on. So then we see the girls. So the girls are getting ready for their ski trip. So Rashida shows up. She tells them, hey, you guys go on, have fun. I'm not going to come because of all the situation going on with Kirk Jr. right now. And she tells them, and they're like, oh, Rashida, we understand. So the girls get on the bus, and, Sierra starts talking about the situation that happened with her daughter. How her daughter is afraid to go outside because she feels like the woman is going to be right there. I'm like, damn. See, that's why I said Sierra should have went and whooped that woman's ass. Just put it out there. She should have went and beat her ass. Your daughter wouldn't be. And then Carl's talking about, if something happened to if that happened to my daughter, I wouldn't be going on no trip. And if I was going on a trip, my daughter would be right here by my side. Shut up, Carly. Shut the fuck up. Just shut your dumb ass up. Oh God, Carly got on my goddamn nerves. I feel like I missed something. Oh, I did miss something. Earlier in the episode, Rashida, Mimi, and Rashida, Mimi, and Carly, they were at, I guess they were at the bistro and they were watching on the news about the whole situation with Sierra's daughter. And Carly's talking about, well, I can understand, how she feels. Okay, with duck lips, whatever. And she said that she reached out to Sierra after it all happened. And that's just basically it. And we're gonna move back on to what happened with the I don't even know where I put that in these. Oh, right there. Okay. So yeah, the trip. So Bambi is talking about how she's not feeling too well, and they're like, "Girl, are you pregnant?" She's like, "Nah, I don't think I'm pregnant. I mean, I heard you. I mean, you can't get pregnant when you breastfeeding, can you?" Girl, what the hell does breastfeeding and your ovaries and everything in your fallopian tubes have to do with you getting pregnant? The sperm goes in. The sperm doesn't touch your breast. It doesn't. The sperm doesn't touch your breast. The breast milk doesn't stop your period. What they got to do with the price of tea in China? But she says, you know what? If I take a pregnancy test, I want you all to take one with me. And then Sierra tells the group that Shekinah is coming on the trip, and Spice lets it be known that she is not here for Shekinah. And I am going to have to say I agree with Spice. I'm not here for Shekinah. But let's move on, you guys. All right, you guys. Let's close this episode out on some bullshit. This is actually still part of some Mona shit. Mona shit. Like, so KK and Cheyenne. So Cheyenne and KK are not, gelling well with each other. But I'm like, but in the last episode, they were cool with each other. They were talking at Scrap's restaurant, and they were talking about the situation between Cheyenne and Shooter. Now, speaking of Cheyenne, her titties, are they real? I'm not being funny, but because I mean, in her interview, her titties are just pushed all the way up. And I'm like, damn, are those things real? I mean, they just like this and pushed up to her neck. I'm like, damn, are those things real? So the issue also, Scrap is moving out of his house into another one because his lease is up. But I'm like, didn't Scrap tell us he bought that house last season? Again, Mona shit. Mona shit. So yeah, his lease is up. And so Scrap says that he called KK over so that she and Cheyenne can have a conversation with each other. So KK comes over with a blood pressure reader in her hand. I'm like, oh my God. KK is turning into Mama D, huh? So KK does her blood pressure reading. Her reading was 180 over 124. Now, if you actually had that reading, your ass should have been in the hospital somewhere and getting some treatment, because that is not a good blood pressure. That is, your blood pressure is elevated, and you should be in the hospital. So she's talking about they got into it, and she just wants an apology from her. But then out of nowhere, she just blabs the fact that, so did you tell Scrap about you and Shooter? And that's where the episode ended, you guys. And I'm like, oh, she's gonna leave us like that. Okay, Mona. But you guys, that was Love and Hip Hop Atlanta. Be sure to like this video, leave your comments, subscribe to the channel, hit that bell notification button so you guys know when I drop anything else. Share this video, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Until then, you guys, peace.